Well, welcome back everybody, welcome to another Living Free Van Life. As you can see in the last few videos, I've been designing the van and building it. A couple of questions on some forums I keep getting asked is, how did I decide on the layout of the van, and how did I decide how big to make the bathroom, how big to make the other cupboards, the sink unit, and on and on and on. And all I can really say is it's up to you. Now, I took inspiration from, obviously, other camper vans that have already been built. I went around a lot of camper van places to have a look at layouts and to see what would suit me. If we'd bought another Boxer or Relay, it would have been a very different layout. It would have been a bathroom over in that corner and what they call a French bed in this corner. So yeah, the layout would have been massively different. I've chose this layout. Basically, I nearly did this layout in the Relay that I had. I just didn't leave myself enough space to do the toilet. And this time I decided I wanted the toilet and the shower area in this van. So that's ultimately why I've now got one. So, only thing I can suggest you do is obviously measure your van. Remember, you're building the van for yourself, not for anyone else, not for future people. You're building it for yourself. So obviously, if you're both over 6'4", or partner's over 6'4", you're obviously going to need side pods. So you're going to have to then start eating into the wall. You can put side pods at the back of the van. So your feet go right outside, maximising the space. If you've got a Sprinter, you could put the bed long ways and have cupboards both sides. I've also seen that. I've seen them use an ottoman, is it ottoman? I think it is, with gas struts that lift up, so that the bed comes this way and they lift up and all the stuff's under the bed, and when they open back door, they can go under where theoretically the headboard would be, and that's also another boot. And it leaves space both sides for people to get out of the bed. There's lots and lots and lots of different ways that you guys can obviously design your camper van, but ultimately do it for you and what you need. I've got friends up in Scotland, Scott and Rachel, who are building a camper van, and they've got 2 kids, so they need the double bed as well as the 2 single beds for the kids. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of different ways. Ultimately, it's how you decide to have it. I decided that I was going to board it off first, insulate it, board it off, and then I was going to measure from wall to wall, and then I was going to create my camper van in that space. Because I'm under 6 foot, I will go from that wall to that wall, and I don't have to cut into like these mavarnos. What some people do is put internal pods where it's only about 2 or 3 inch both sides, but 6 inch, it makes a lot of difference for for your sleeping, because ultimately your sleep in a camper van's the most important thing. Anyway, I put the inner skin in, I carpeted it up, and then I measured it up, and then I obviously designed it to exactly how I wanted it and where I wanted it. Now, if you think that is the design I was going off, my designs look more like that. Lots and lots and lots of numbers, widths, just planning it out. Ultimately, once I got to this stage, what I did is I got, because obviously my linos down. It doesn't matter if your linos down, it doesn't matter if anything's on floor, I suppose. You can always get some masking tape. Masking tape how you want your camper van laid out. You'll see a lot of people on YouTube doing that. But don't forget to add the thickness of wood, because some people go, oh, I want a 4 foot bathroom, yeah, but they don't add for the walls. So remember, if you're having something 4 foot and this wood's 18 mil thick, I'm going to come in 4 centimeters, and basically that's how I'm going to design it. So just be careful what material you're using, and don't forget to add the walls, add your battening, subtract your battening. Anyway, some other ones I've been asked is, oh, can you send us what you've done, because it looks basically how they want it, which, to be honest, this when it's finished will probably look like 80% at campervans in some campervan dealerships. So what I've decided to do, got tape measure out, and I'm going to give you my measurements and tell you the measurements for this and how I've designed it. If you want to copy it. But I've been asked by about 20 people. I've had a lot of inboxes saying, Eric, do us a favour, gives you measurements of your van. So I've decided to make this video. So here goes. We're going to start in the bed area. Now, in the bed area, I have gone for a small double, which is a 4 feet wide mattress. A normal double's 4'6" wide. So I've gone for a small double. Reason why I've gone for a small double is because when I was looking around campervan places, I noticed they were all roughly just slightly under a small double, and it was just as easy for me to drop on Facebook, order a small double mattress, memory foam mattress. It cost me 90 quid or something, and they delivered it to my house. It was really, really cheap. So here goes. So I hope you can hear me. So from left to right on the bed, from the wall to the other side, we go. If I measure it all in inches, it's kind of easier for me. You know, I don't have to get all specs out and start looking at tape measure for little numbers. So if I do it at inches, it rounds it up slightly or rounds it down slightly. So I'll do it in inches, and then you can convert it yourself. So here it goes. Now I've made the bed area 4 feet wide, so that's 4 feet because of the single mattress. And the bed length is coming out at 69.5 inches. So from that wall to that wall is roughly 2.5 inches shy of 6 feet. Now that's perfect for me. If I just do that, oh Christ, look like a nana doing this, but hey, yeah, I'm at 70. I'm at 70 there. 70 inches there. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. There you go. A rough one. I'm at 68 inch tall. So the bed at the back is 4 feet wide, which is 48 inches wide by 49.5 inches long. Right, the toilet cubicle. Now I'm no good at scribing, so all you eagle-eyed will see my scribing's not that clever, but I'm going to hide it in other ways. So width on the toilet. The toilet is 27 inch from wall to halfway into the van. That's 27 inch from the widest point of the van, which is at the bottom. Let's see if I can show you. Which is at the bottom, which is just down here where there's a beam that runs all the way along the van. So from that point there, it's 27 inches. I really need a camera person. So that's 27 inches. And from front to back, it's 39 inches. From front to back, it's 39 inches. Yeah, it's 39 inches from this wall to there. It's 39 inches. Now, the seating area here, let's see if we can, what's going to be here, I don't know if you guys can see it there. There is going to be a seating area just down here. So the seating area in front of the side seat. It's 25 inches from the wall out. And it's 51 inches from the side of the unit to the wall at the back. Let's see if I can show you. Just see there. Sorry guys if I'm making some of you seasick. You know, crap with cameras. So let's measure that again. 51 inches from the cubicle wall to the back of the seat. Now this here is my microwave and fridge unit. I'm going to attempt, there it goes. So the unit is, remember, from the widest point of the van, because from widest point in the van you're going to scribe into the wood. That is 19 inches deep. Now how I decided that is by the depth of the fridge. The fridge was I'm absolutely crap at this. The fridge was about 430 deep. So this has left enough space at back for airflow. So remember, when you're designing your fridge, you also need airflow behind it because it will get warm. And as for the width of the cupboard, it's 20 inches and half, which is 520 width. That's also been determined by the fridge, because the fridge is just under that. I can't remember its width for your fridge, but whatever your fridge is, remember you've got to make a unit to fit that fridge. So let your fridge, which should be the widest thing in there, determine what width your cupboard's going to be. Like you can see, there's also a microwave up here. I put it as high up as I could because obviously the depth to the wall. So that's basically what I've done there. What's going to go? Sorry guys. What's going to go here then is it's going to be the kitchen units. Now I've got 2 300s and 1 400 unit, which makes 1,000, which is a metre long. I'll just get this on. Which is a metre long, a metre front wall to over here. So let's see if I can video that. So roughly, where are we? So here, roughly in the middle of the door. So from that wall to there to here is going to be where the kitchen cupboard's from. I've chose 3 cupboards, one for lots of space, lots of storage, and 2, it hopefully is going to be wide enough for the sink and burners that you get off of Facebook. Depending on what burners you're using, what kitchen stuff you're using, will determine how deep this unit's going to be, which in turn will offset on your toilet. Now this toilet's quite wide. I came to this, the dimensions of this, basically how wide am I with my arms that side of me, and did I want a little bit of room to move. Plus there's certain shower trays you might want to look into what size shower trays you can get. I don't want to be fitting a campervan shower tray in this. Reason being is they're always plastic and they're always crap. And I've seen so many horror stories of them breaking. I'm a big lad, I'm 18 stone. Last thing I want to be doing is standing on a plastic shower tray and splitting it. So there is other shower trays, but I've given myself a load of room to manoeuvre in there for when eventually one day I put a shower in there, but it will fit a toilet in there quite comfortable. Remember, everything's down to how you and what you buy and what you want in your van to encase that. You know, your toilet you might buy a toilet system, and it'll be a thinner toilet system so your toilet can go closer to the wall. I wanted more space. Be a long time before I put a shower in there, so it'll only be used as a toilet and storage for now. When I put the night heater in, I'm going to put a pipe into there so it can be a bit of a drying room, and obviously a pipe into this side of the camper van. So yeah, basically that's a rough idea of how I've designed my van. There's no right and wrong way. Ultimately, it's up to you guys and what you buy and how you want it and what toilet system you buy and what fridge you buy. You've kind of got to design it around the stuff you buy, and make it around the stuff you buy. You know, it's pointless buying a fridge that's, you know, 400 wide and you've built a unit 300. Obviously, maths say it's just not going to fit. Take your time to design it. I bought this furniture board. I've had to go out and I've had to buy really good quality blades for my circular saw. If you just use the blades that come with a cheap B&Q circular saw, it absolutely mullers your wood. Get some advice. There's always someone around B&Q or Wix or whatever who may know what kind of blades you need. Same with your jigsaw blade, your jigsaw. Be careful with jigsaws. If you look at the teeth on a jigsaw, you'll notice they'll either point up or they'll point down. If they're pointing down from the jigsaw, it means they're cutting into the wood, which means the back of it could pull the laminate off. And if it's coming up, you could pull the laminate up. So choose your cutting mediums, what you're going to use to cut your wood, with great care. Use plenty of tape that does hold the wood together, and just take your time with it. I'm not a joiner, I'm nowhere near a joiner, but I've managed to do this, and it's all through watching people like me on YouTube, giving me an idiot's guide of ultimately how to do it. Now, a question I wanted to ask you guys. I don't know if you're going to better see it. Oh dear. Let's see if we can. Up here. Oh dear, that is a bit bright, is that? There we go. I'll take you out. Up here, at the top of my my cab area. I don't know what to do with it. You see, it's only 3.5 inches wide. Do I make it as a shelf, or do I just box it in and forget all about it exists? Because it's absolutely pointless. You can't really store anything up there. You can't actually do really anything with it. So yeah, I want a bit of advice from you, if you don't mind. What would you do with up there? Would you just board it off in this furniture board? This stuff, if you haven't looked at it properly, guys. Would you? Wouldn't you? That's the question. Anyway, thanks for watching this week's video. If you need to know all, let me know. If you want to ask any questions or you got any advice, get back to me. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.